Well, happy Tuesday and welcome to VA Careers Live. My name is Mike Owens and I'm a recruitment marketing specialist for the Veterans Health Administration, as well as your host for our weekly segment, Talk About It Tuesday. If you're tuning in for the first time, I just want to let you know that we are here every Tuesday at 12 noon Eastern Time. So feel free to grab a snack, grab something to drink, and join us as we talk about careers here at VA. Now, whether you're tuning in for the first time or you've been watching us on a weekly basis for the last 2.5 years, we want you to be part of the conversation. So feel free to leave any questions and comments in the comment section below. My team and I will go through those questions throughout the day and throughout the week to make sure that all of your questions are addressed and all your comments, actually all your questions are answered and all your comments are addressed. And also, we all know someone who wants to work here at VA, and we all know people that will really like this information. So we ask that you please share our broadcast. Again, please share our broadcast. But before you hit that share button, we have a special hashtag that's associated with this program. That's hashtag work at VA. Again, hashtag work at VA. And we get this information out. And guess what? That'll be more and more people that are going to be onboarded here at VA. So with that, we're going to go into our conversation for this week. Now, this week is very special to me because we have someone that's going to talk about a career path that I kind of came up with. I know we have a lot of people out there who have degrees or experience in communications and marketing. And so today I have a very special guest. My next guest that I'm bringing on today, he serves as the Chief Communications Officer for the Veterans Affairs Rocky Mountain Network that's out in the Denver area. He served as an intel officer in the U.S. Army, did 20 years and retired. I'm gonna thank him for his service. And we all know that we like to talk about college football, which LSU is going to the SEC championship. But our next guest, he follows the University of South Florida college football team. So without further ado, I want to bring aboard Mr. Jason Strickland. Hi, Jason. How are you?
Hey, great, Mike. Thanks for having me on today.
Awesome. So again, as I was just mentioning to the audience, that your background is communications and public affairs and public relations, and you're actually at the Public Relations Society of America conference out in the Dallas area. So how's that going?
It's going great. It's a chance for us to interact with all kinds of public relations, communications professionals from across the country. This is an annual conference that PRSA hosts, and it's my first time here, so I'm a rookie. But it's been great to kind of interact with some folks and meet in person and talk about cool communications things that are happening across the industry.
Awesome, and I bet you're the most amazing rookie out there.
Hey, we'll do our best.
So the first question I have for you today is, what first encouraged you to apply for a career at VA?
Well, as you mentioned, I served in the Army for 20 years, and I wanted to find a way to give back. I want to be a public servant, no matter what I was wearing the uniform or serving my brothers and sisters in arms through the VA. So found an opportunity to get into the organization, not doing something I expected to be doing, which had no relationship to what I did in the military, but found a way to kind of be a part of it and just to have a passion to serve those who I served alongside with for 20 years.
Awesome. So we have a lot of viewers that are looking to get a position here at the VA. Our viewers, they're constantly searching VA careers and USA jobs for the perfect position here at VA. But we also have a lot of questions about the application process. What is it like? So what would you say was the application hiring process like for you?
It was a good experience overall. Trying to navigate the federal government hiring process is a challenge sometimes, but once you kind of get through things, just like anything, after you do it a few times, you kind of figure out how things roll. So, 6 years ago, which is how long I've been with the VA, interviewed, applied, went through a series of interviews. Joined an organization that had some acronym initialism. I had no idea what it meant, but I knew I was working in the VA and some awkward business line. But just being candid with during the interview with my skill set, what I can do, and showing those knowledge, skills, and abilities that would be appropriate for the job. But yeah, hey, I applied for many opportunities, and a couple of them stuck, and then a couple of them led to interviews, and here I am 6 years later.
Awesome, awesome. So, as I mentioned when I first, talked about your history, um, you're in the communications arena in VA. And when people think about the VA, they don't think about public relations, public affairs, communications. They think about healthcare, providing healthcare to the veterans. But every position in VA is detrimental to our veterans. So, um, speaking of public relations careers in the VA, what kind of positions are available, in the public relations field in VA?
Right there, and as you mentioned, you did this while you were in the military as well.
Yes.
In the VA, there are tons of opportunities. In VHA alone, there's over 600 positions that relate right to communications. So I'm a public affairs specialist, which is kind of a generalist,
Yes.
which really identifies most of the people in the communications realm. We handle everything from getting information out, executive communications, internal communications, writing news releases, coordinating activities, and supervising activities that are going on there. So, for example, at all of our VA medical centers, we have a public affairs officer or public affairs specialist. They're overall kind of responsible for what's going on, but we also have some specialty kinds of careers. And in fact, in our organization, we have what we call a creative task force, where we have videographers, webmasters, graphic artists, all kinds of skill sets. There's fewer of those. There's about 80 videographers across the Veterans Health Administration.
Oh, wow.
170 graphic artists work throughout our organization at various levels. And so my job as a public affairs specialist, bring all those things together, see how we can work together to get the best information in the most accurate way and in the most effective way out to the people who need it, which are our veterans, our caregivers, our family members who use our services. So lots of opportunities.
Thank you. Thank you. So for all our viewers that are just tuning in, I'm talking to Mr. Jason Strickland. He serves as the Chief Communications Officer at the VA Rocky Mountain Network out in the Denver, Colorado area. And we're talking about public relations careers here at VA. So if you're just tuning in and you didn't get a chance to see the first few questions or the beginning of this interview will stay on our LinkedIn page, so you can always go back and watch it. So with that, as I mentioned earlier in the interview, Mr. Strickland is at the Public Relations Society of America conference out in the Dallas area. So as you can see behind him, he has this great booth behind him. So Mr. Strickland, if one of our viewers or myself, we walked up to your booth and we found out that we wanted to know just advice on someone looking to work for the VA. What advice would you offer someone that's looking to work for VA in the public relations arena?
Yeah, I would offer two items for advice. Number one is just get in the door. Get your foot in the door. Look for an opportunity that may relate in some way, shape, or form to what you want to do. May not be the exact job you're looking for, but just get in. I think that's what I did. I came in as a supervisory correspondence analyst, a writer. That wasn't what I did in the military, but I got my foot in the door. And then once you're there, you do well, you perform, you go above expectations, those sorts of things. So that's number one, is get in the door. Secondly, I think I would say is be humble. I know, especially for our transitioning service members, we kind of leave the military and this is the rank that I held. And so I'm probably going to be able to move right into that same level in the federal government or in the VA. And I would just say, maybe you need to be humble and think about kind of going down a level just to get in the door. See number one, which is what I said. So I would look at those two things. And I think if you do that and then you demonstrate your capabilities, you do a great job in whatever it is you're doing, your supervisors are going to see that. Other potential people who are looking for jobs, they're going to see how you do once you're in. And that's going to lead to success eventually over the long run.
Yeah, and I agree. It's that's one of the biggest things on this program that we tell candidates is that be flexible, be willing to get your foot in the door. And it's funny that you mentioned that because, again, I did public affairs in the military.
Right.
But when I came into VA, I came in under VA's voluntary service. I was an employee, but I managed volunteers that worked for the VA because the volunteer service in New Orleans fell under the public relations office. So I did that, and I was able to do some public relations work while I was in that position, and then I moved into marketing, and now I'm in HR. So if you're just willing to be flexible and willing to get your foot in the door, the possibilities are endless. So yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. So thank you for that tidbit. So one of my last questions for you is, what's your favorite thing about working here at VA?
I think my favorite thing about working at the VA is the challenge associated with getting the best information to the people who need it.
Yeah,
We're the government, so there's a little bit of bureaucracy that we live with. And I was in a meeting earlier, a conference, and Amazon was talking about how they do internal communications. They have 20 people just focused on that aspect of their communications.
exactly.
But we don't always have that luxury, and so the challenge that goes with it, seeing if ways that we can work around it, but still get the information to the people who need it in a creative, meaningful way where they want to absorb that information. So I love the challenge. It's frustrating at times, but more often than
Yeah,
not, overcoming it is terrific, and that's what I love about working at the VA. And then the people who are our customers, as I said before, are the very people I served with in the military, whether they were in sister services or the same service, whether they did something like I did in the military or not. Just sharing with them and making them aware of everything that they have at the VA is great.
awesome, awesome. So I have one last put you on the spot question. All right. So you served in the military. You served. What was first? Thank you for your service. What was your absolute favorite duty station?
I think my absolute favorite duty station actually was probably my second one. I served at the 10th Mountain Division at Fort Drum, New York,
Okay.
where we had 4 seasons just like everybody else: early winter, midwinter, late winter, and next winter. Because there's a lot of snow up there. But the bonding that took place with the platoon that I led there, the people that we did things with, the deployments that we had, which we deployed a lot, that was just a great time of learning together and doing the mission together and caring for each other, whether it's our people in the same unit or our families, wives and children, and everybody just kind of reaching around and caring for each other. So I really enjoyed my time at Fort Drum, New York.
Awesome, awesome. That's one of my favorite questions I ask veterans that come on. What's their favorite duty station? With those 4 seasons, it remind me of Fort Polk, Louisiana, where summer 1, summer 2, summer 3, and summer 4.
Touche.
But I know you're a busy man. I know you're out at the conference out there. So first, I want to thank you for your service, and then thank you for taking the time to talk with us today.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. It's been great to be on, and I appreciate everything you and your team are doing to help people be more aware about working at VA and what a great opportunity it is.
Thank you. And for our audience, if you have any questions about public relations careers or communications careers here at VA, submit those questions in the comment section below. We'll be sure to forward those questions over to Mr. Strickland and get those questions answered for you. So with that, thank you for watching. As you know, if it's Tuesday, we're definitely going to talk about it, and we will see you on next Tuesday. Have a great day.